All right, welcome everybody. It is the 3rd today, the 3rd of July. Welcome to the second half of 2020. If you can hear, my voice is a little off because I am a little under the weather, but it's okay. I'm feeling all right. I'm called to do a video, so I'm okay to do that, but it will be much shorter than the ones that I've been posting a bit more recently. We will not be doing 40 minutes. I hope you're all well. I've already cleansed and, done that part of it just to help, make the video a little shorter. Got my little glass of wine, so cheers. Picking up on some really heavy, procrastination energies, or holding something back. I know my last video was on, revealing something. So that's an interesting juxtaposition of energies right there. And it does feel quite spiritual. I feel like some people feel quite spiritually burdened at the moment. So I'm here to try and shed some light on that if I can. So thank you for being with me. This is not sign specific. I will be doing something for the signs coming up. I really wanted to sometime this week do one for each of the star signs, and I've got some really beautiful artwork to put with that, so I'm really excited to do it. However, right now that would mean doing maybe 2 to 5 minute videos, and that's not fair on anyone. So we'll postpone that for now. This week I'm going to do similar to last week, not sign specific, just knowing that whoever is meant to watch this video will watch it. If it resonates with you, then it's your message, and let's just leave it at that, because I don't want to put all of the energy that I've got just into the intros and stuff. If you want to know more or need to reach out, then feel free to comment below. Otherwise, feel free, of course, to like, share and subscribe, and thank you for being with me. This is the Alchemical Cup, and I'm the Page of Cups, so hi. All right, so I'm going to get one energy to start off with. Now, I do have the book for this nearby because this is still quite new to me, but they're really, really powerful cards. This is the Sacred Spirit Reading Cards by Anna Stark, illustrated by Louis Dyer. One more shuffling. Okay, Spirit, what do you have to tell us for the overall energy for those who need to hear this message the most, please? Yeah. All right. 27, meditation. Improvements require persistence. Let me show you that one. How pretty are these cards? So if you haven't had a chance to lately, it is time to not necessarily rest, but definitely meditate on some energies. What was I watching? I forget. One of the beautiful readers the other day that I tune in quite frequently to their programs. It was about, to have messages downloaded to yourself or to find some sort of clarity. It doesn't really come at times where you're feeling like everything's in a big kerfuffle, or when energies are really, really high or really, really low, or if you're feeling very drained. It is very important to go quiet and meditate. So yeah, some daily habits. I'm hearing that some people really need to pay attention to what they do on a day-to-day basis. I'm just going to put those over there. In order to improve whatever area you're thinking of. I do more often specialize in love, and I can really feel some heavy heart energy. I do really apologize for my voice. Although that's important as well. I know that the last reading that I did was very centered around the throat chakra and needing to speak up. And since then, it's my throat that has gotten quite ill since having, some pretty powerful conversations. So sometimes you'll have like a physical effect happen to you before, during, or after one of those chakras are, you know, being activated, basically. So sometimes saying something that you need to say can then have physical ramifications just to clear out the last of that energy. But what this is telling you is paying attention to that persistency part of persistent, consistent, and obviously meditation is a key. So if you draw, paint, write, some people dance, some people will just, you know, stare at the moon for hours, or the stars, or a candle, you know, candle gazing, music. There's lots and lots of meditation music and guided meditations and stuff on YouTube as well. So I encourage you to have a look at those. Even healing of the chakras, because I can see the rainbow colors here. Maybe have a look, especially, you know, even the back of this deck, very rainbow colored. So maybe have a look at something that does balance all of your chakras. But let's get into it. I really am so sorry for my voice. This is just going to be a quickie. Going to use Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Tarot for the main energies. I've got John Holland, his Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, as I'm going to clarify with that if I need to. This again was the Sacred Spirit. We've already used that, so I might actually just tuck that over this way. And then we've got the Moonology guidance cards, because we are coming into another eclipse and full moon, and we've got the numerology cards as well. I don't remember the names of those artists. I'll try and remember to put them below. You can always comment if you want to know. I feel like I want to start with this. So let's see what the main energies are. I'm going to do both people, so because I can really feel that this is a relationship. Now, it doesn't have to be a loving partnership. This could be a relationship with work or friends or family, or you know, it could be, but I'm really starting to, there you go, it could even be with yourself. It says self-love. There we go. An adventure. So I'm feeling that this person really needs to go inwards a little bit. One person could be the person that I'm speaking with. Usually they'll come up on this side. One person really needing to focus on self-love. And I think that comes back into this meditation piece a little bit as well, especially with 6 + 1 being 7. That's a number of spirit. But really needing to focus on healing, love for yourself. And this orange being the sacral chakra, so sexuality could come into it, and then also the blue for the throat chakra. So maybe something that was said to a partner that you may have sexual relations with. This could be about a relationship, or may want to. Maybe something that was said or needs to be said, to do with maybe creating boundaries. You might need to meditate on creating boundaries, or working out how you need to possibly put in a little bit more persistence into improving the situation, just to relate those two cards together. Now, this second person is sort of looking for some change. That's signified by the 2 5s. And the greens and blues here makes me think of the heart and throat chakra again. So the throat chakra again, even with all that blue, is coming through quite strong. I have a feeling this may relate to those from that reading I did a couple of weeks ago that did actually pick up on that with a love situation. I went back and watched that, and for me it really resonated with a friendship, but then later with a love situation as well. So it was quite interesting, actually. Really cool energy. So cool to see that play out in my life a little bit as well. Let me know your thoughts, comment down below. But person B here might be looking for some sort of change to do with or they might have said something about their feelings having changed. So take that as you will. Alright, let's have a little look-see. I want to do this. Okay, so in keeping with this theme, I don't really have a planned layout, but I think I know what I want to do. So we're going to keep it to person A on this side, person B on that side, and then we'll do some, you know, energy for the dynamic of those people in between. So get a couple of shuffles. And I really will be keeping this part of it quite short and sweet. I needed to get a message out, but I can already feel that my throat's like, stop, why did you do this, you maniac? I even said to a dear friend before that I couldn't talk, and then I just had this like overwhelming urge to, so I'm really sorry to my dear friend there, but I'll explain and we'll talk. Alright, thank you, Spirit. What can you tell me about person A? What are they going through right now? What do we need to know for person A? What are they currently going through? Person A. What do we need to know about person A? Ooh. Okay, we've gotten 3 that have flipped over, and I'm not gonna read upside downsies today. Alright, we've got the 5 of Swords, the 2 of Wands, and the 6 of Swords. So I feel like a decision about having to fight for something that you believe in has led you to possibly want to at least move on to calmer waters. You see how, look, I'm not gonna, just gonna pick them up as they are so you can see. There we go. 5 of Swords, 2 of Wands, and 6 of Swords. So there was possibly an argument. This is like a win at all costs vibe. Sometimes can be quite selfish, but sometimes you need to be. This is about making a decision or having a decision right in front of yourself. Not quite knowing which way to go. See, he's still at that fork, and then eventually moving forward to something calmer. Now, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, she has like a child with her, and there's actually a man steering. I really like that she's by herself. That could also signify here someone choosing to just be by themselves for a little bit, you know, possibly because of an argument, or possibly because they had to stand up for themselves. I actually don't see this 5 of Swords as being as I feel like in other decks it's really like, oh, well, I'm doing this and stuff everyone else, you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like in this one he kind of had to, even if it did hurt someone. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to fight for yourself. And it's because of a choice that is sort of related to spirit. You might have had to have chosen, basically choosing yourself here. I'm just going to leave it at that for person A for a moment. We will come back to this. All right, thank you, Spirit. What can you say about person B? There's 1, 2, 3. Well, that's working out nice. Oh, sorry, that's 4. All right, well, we're taking it. Okay, and again, I'm not reading upside downsies this week. I'm just not feeling the upside down cards. Oh, she says, having left that upside down. Okay, so person B, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. We've got the 6 of Wands, we've got the 9 of Wands, and then we've got the Fool card, which is the only major arcana that's actually popped up right now. So person B has been thinking about something long term, possibly partnership. 10 of Pentacles can be business related, so you know, if you've come here and this resonates with you for business, so be it. I'm really feeling that this is about love. So that's, in its own way, can be family and long-term. Notice how this description doesn't really have anything but a little mouse. There's no humans in this one. Also the turtle, the slow. So this is someone looking at investing their time into something that they know is going to be long-standing, feeling like that would be a victorious approach to take in this situation. However, they're still incredibly defensive about turning a new leaf, taking a leap of faith. Now, this is very defensive, but it's also, all right, well, they call it the Wounded Warrior card, and you can see why. Also, something I've always noted with this is, see how the 8 of Wands is there, and he's got the 9th wand? The 8 of Wands is change, which comes back to this 5-5 that's over here. change, movement, and communication, basically. So because of some sort of recent communication, which was shown in person A as well, so these are, you're both kind of mirroring each other in a way. I feel like this person is a little bit more optimistic. Person B is a little bit more optimistic. However, they're not wanting, they're really hesitating to take a leap of faith, basically. Even though they know that it could lead somewhere really, really long lasting, and it would feel quite victorious. It feels like that's what they want. They're not necessarily doing it. If you have a person in mind that is resonating with B and you're A, they've also got a yes card here. So I'm just feeling like someone has a question about person B. The answer is yes. Which could then be why they're defensive, why they're so hesitant to take a leap of faith here. Okay, we're going to get some cards for the dynamic between persons A and B, please. Just cards for the dynamic between persons A and B. Alright. So we've got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Queen of Swords, we've got the Queen of Wands, and we've got the High Priestess. So the dynamic between the two of you at the moment, and aren't these beautiful? I'll show you one at a time. Knight of Cups is generally an offer that's, I think in this case, been made, considering the energies. These are actually the two of you, so you could be talking, look, I don't usually say this, we could be talking about an air and a fire sign. I don't believe that these are two women. I'm not actually picking up on third party energy whatsoever. I think that these are persons A and B. So person A is wanting to act with their logic, as an air sign would, kind of choosing head over heart. Person B is very much in the physical. Not to be crass, but this could be someone who thinks with their loins, but also could be someone that thinks with spirit. Fire can very much be like the the spirit of the matter, the soul of it, the heart of it, the without being too watery and too emotional. But this gives me big dick energy. She's also courageous. Big dick energy, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. I don't really read gender. But I mean, look how confident they both are. She is not looking to mess around. And she can be a little bit hot to trot, like a little bit fiery in the temper sort of area as well. So I think these are the two energies. The fact that you're matching as two queens, I think is quite nice. Let me just have a little feel out of these. The third card is the High Priestess. So I think you're both turning to your emotions right now, in terms of your intuition. You're trying to look inside, you're trying to go within to actually see what might be happening with this situation, because I think it has been quite confusing. Whatever that conversation was that happened, it's been really confusing. But now an offer that was made has created some tension. I think one person is looking to at least just move on to, making a choice to move away from the argument. This person's focus is a little bit more on wanting a new start, but being super defensive. And I feel like the energy that's required here is basically to trust your intuition. See, and I've just flipped this over, and I know I said I wasn't going to read upside downsies, but that makes sense exactly as it is. It's like where you're both coming from right now is a place of, you have been sort of trapped by whatever happened between the two of you. You're having some trouble getting around it mentally, but you're coming out of that. You know what I mean? So when this is upright, oh, isn't that funny? The Eight of Wands is behind it. That's the communication that happened, and that probably caused you both to feel quite trapped. But she can get out at any time. That's not actually tied. She can, unwrap her hands, lift a blindfold, and step out this gap right here. she's not actually stuck. So the Eight of Swords upside down to me says that you're coming out of that. You can actually get out of that. You're starting to realize that whatever was going on, not to say it's just in your head, not at all, just that the trappings that you may have been seeing might not have actually been something that was physically blocking you, but perhaps you blocking yourself mentally. I keep coming back to this Knight of Cups, and I feel like it could be that we've got more to hear from it, so I'm going to clarify. What I'm getting before I clarify is that there could actually be an offer coming in as well, or that both people, because this is the dynamic, are wanting to offer some sort of message of love, or a loving action. Sometimes it's an apology. I'm not really feeling that that's even necessary here. I don't feel like this was the sort of words that you can't come back from. I feel like this was I feel like truth was told, and you both intuitively know that you just need to stay clear-minded, have a bit of courage, and maybe offer a cup to each other. Like, maybe just be like, hey, you know, I've got my own full cup here, because remember, this is alchemy. I've got my own cup of self-love. Why don't we take an adventure and, you know, fill each other's cups a little and just have a bit of fun. But I want to clarify. So, thank you, Spirit. Could you clarify this Knight of Cups for me, please? Isn't that funny? So that's the Six of Swords as well, which it's called moving on. So it could just be that moving forward could be the message of love, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't have to be stuck to one another. Whoopsie daisy. You know what? I'm going to take that because I saw it. I'm not going to take these because I didn't. And that's the Tower. Major Arcana, Tower card, disruption in this case. So I really feel like things were probably going really well and something came sort of crashing down. But in this case, I feel like that might be a really good thing. Let's get one forever on this side too. Because that just wanted to sit on person B. So maybe they can't get past the fact that this conversation happened. And their, you know, their happiness, their longevity, they're defensive about having a new beginning because of how this tower fell. Because of the way it happened, you know. Maybe whatever was said was destined because it's highlighted that the foundations weren't actually as strong as what you thought. Get one for person A. Oh, we've got a couple. Alright. Conflict and defeat. That's the Five of Swords again. Isn't that funny? Six of Swords, Six of Swords, Five of Swords, Five of Swords. Alright. But then there's two here. And I'm just going to have a little look under here. Emotional withdrawal. So that's the Eight of Cups. So yeah, definitely something here happened, and I feel like you guys are moving away from each other, which I know is really uncomfortable, but what happens? Because I was just thinking, well, where does that go? That all seems a bit depressing. And we've got rejoice and celebration. That's the Three of Cups. That's actually reunion card. And then 17, that's hope. That's got to be the star. 17 has to be the star. My goodness. Hang on a second. Yeah, because 19 would be the sun. That's the star. So the star comes right after the tower. You know, after this tower's fallen, we get to see the star, and that's the shining energy that's coming from behind this, you see. So it's nice that that's stepped up into that energy. And then that means that you've got something to celebrate as well. So, look, I think person B, because they've got this full card, the only other major arcana we had for that set of cards was the High Priestess. I think you know that a new beginning's coming. It's a funny little switch of energy there though, isn't it? Let's ask what the moon's been doing. Because I feel like this has the moon written all over it. What's going on there? Yeah, there's one. Take time to breathe out. That is much the same as meditation. Disseminating moons, so that would be, maybe this will all come to a head for some of you as we go into this full moon, which, I mean, I'm in Australia. Today's the 3rd. The full moon happens on the 5th. And that'll be a full moon in Capricorn. Okay. Yeah, bear with me a second. There we go. I wanted 2 more. All right. You are good enough. And that's the full moon in Virgo. So look, we've got 2 full moon cards that came up, and then the full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. I'm going to see what's under. Work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. All right. So what I'm seeing here is that whatever happened is temporary. It was necessary because the tower actually had to fall. So I think we had the tower come up in reverse in the last one, and I kept wanting to push it around the right way. Same thing happened. So whatever conversation you've had, you might have lost something that feels like a really, really big loss. However, it's actually leading to some sort of reunion. Now, reunion can be just with yourself. Remember, we've got the self-love card over here. But I am actually feeling like for the majority of you, whoever you had a falling out with, you might end up at least still talking. Some sort of cup is going to come your way. And it's actually going to shine a lot of hope on the situation. Just remember to meditate, and that's coming through there as well, and that's your throat chakra again with the blue, heart chakra again there, and sacral chakra again there with those colors. So we've actually got the same color set coming out there as we do there, which is pretty cool. This really feels like a bit of a shadow reading for someone. If you want to know more about shadow and stuff like that, feel free to reach out. Basically, this is saying to me that whatever fears you might have that you're not enough for somebody, or that you don't deserve somebody, completely not true. And where it says don't let pride get in your way, I think of pride as being ego, and ego-based things can often amount to fear, which again work through your fears. So I think a lot of fears are coming up, and you just need to work through it with some meditation. That there is a daily piece to this. So every day, whatever you end up liking to do to meditate, I put forth to you to possibly consider doing it in a way that allows some repetition and allows you to actually have that as a part of your daily piece. Even just try for a week. 10 minutes a day for a whole week. Do your art, do your writing, sit in a bath with some candles. That's one of my favorites. That really helps you just decompress. You need to take some time to breathe out. That will help you work through your fears. It will help you get through this ego-driven fear that you're not good enough. And I think that will actually help to put some really practical things in motion. Because remember, you know what, this actually does feels a little like a twin reading. There's some real reflection. There's some similarities on both sides. Anyway, the more you can work through that with yourself, the more I think that you'll have a chance to actually just sort of rejoice afterwards. I think it's all going to be okay. I think some of you might have come here thinking, is this going to be okay? Yes. It's going to be okay. You got this. Remember to focus on yourself though. Remember to love yourself and be kind to yourself, and have some daily practices that reflect that. Something's shifting. Something's shifting with this moon, and it was meant to, because it leads to hope. And I think in some cases it's leading to reunion for most, or some, not for all. But that's sometimes how it goes. All right, with that, I hope that helped someone. Yeah. I really hope it did. Sorry about my voice again. I'll be gargling salt water and working on feeling better very soon. But between now and then, I love you guys heaps, and look after yourselves, look after each other, and yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Or comment down below if you have some questions, or I don't know, let me know your thoughts. All right, thank you. Bye.